Hello, my friends. Let's take a break from the stresses and difficulties of our lives and enjoy a game of 0 AD. I had a good day at work. It's November 1st, and this evening I'm taking a little break with some 0 AD. I do not understand these teams. To me, they seem unbalanced, but what do you think? So let's see. Let's look at Rauls. All right, so it looks like I'll call it Team East versus Team West. On Team East, in the middle position, we have Rauls. I think playing the Han. I think he's either an elite player or on the cusp of being an elite player, though I'm not sure. He is the quick leader in population with 17 almost right away, but that's might be more an issue of strategy. Okay, then playing the Iberians, one of my favorite civilizations, is this guy who didn't put any vowels in his name, Chargestiger. I'm gonna call him Charger, and he's rated over 2,000, so I think that puts him in the elite category. I love the Iberians. Long term, they are super strong. Sometimes this wall that they get it's both good for keeping out enemy rushes, but it also kind of gets in your way, and I feel like I'm always a little slower having to work around this wall. In the corner position is Triumpathal, the only player who I don't know him that well, but at least by rating, I would say he's intermediate advanced. Um, so out of these three, oh, and of course on the other edge of Team East, we have Saeed already getting rated by Geriatrics, the orange player. Let's see how this one turns out. Geriatrics has 2 kills. Saeed already has 1. Of course, Saeed killed a cavalry, whereas Geriatrics killed players, so I don't think we can call this a successful raid, though it's surprising. We're just at the 1.5 minute mark, so that came very early. Saeed, super strong player, I think on the cusp of being advanced or elite, playing the Moria. And that is Team 1. And because of these 3 super strong players, Rauls, Saeed, and Charger, I think Team East is OP, but I could be wrong. I don't know all these players. And here comes Geriatrics again. What a funny name, Geriatrics. Very bold attack. First he hit the wood line, then he attacked the berries near the TC. Saeed, as expected, reacted calmly. Geriatrics has 3 kills to Saeed's 1. Now let's take a look at Team West, and when it's paused, the view will not switch. It's paused by Saeed for some unknown reason. Let's take a look at the chart. Switch this to military. Okay, so according to the 0 AD arithmetic, that was kind of a break-even charge. Saeed, it seems, took out an invading cavalry, and Geriatrics took out a bunch of workers. Or just a few workers. Looks like 3. But the fight is ongoing. Alright, so Geriatrics, the orange player who just did that charge, he is the Romans. Yes, the Romans, very enterprising civilization, a lot of siege. A lot of players take a sort of defensive grinding strategy. Geriatrics doing just the opposite. Here come his 3 cavalry again, just relentless. For intermediate players like me, this really stresses you out, but I expect Saeed to be as cool as a cucumber. Can he get another kill? Yes, he gets 1 more. So I think that puts him on the better side of these exchanges. But look at that, Saeed circling out his own cavalry, though it's a wounded cavalry. He better run. He better run. Let's zoom in a little bit. That was one of the pointers I got on my last video. Zoom in a little bit. I don't necessarily know what I'm doing, but I can only imagine that the quality of these productions will improve. In part because there's no way to go but up. Alright, so that was fun. Fun early aggression. Who else is here on Team East, who I consider the underdogs? Akazid. I don't know much about him, but I think he's a super strong player, um, which is maybe why they regarded this as balanced and accepted these teams. Lots of berries for Akazid. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. What map is this? Is this mainland or mainland balanced? Um, the Han Chinese, of course, get this strange starting figure. The Imperial Minister. Decrease resource cost and research times of technology in a building by 2% for each minister garrisoned within. Oh, so you could have multiple ones. It's not like a general. Also increases gather rate by 2% for every minister nearby. Very interesting. Unique strategy. All right, who's next? Spartan. Super solid player playing, I believe these are the Persians? Wait, I could be wrong. No, Mesopotamia, and that means... Let's see. What does Mesopotamia mean? Not the Macedonians. Not the Carthaginians. Oh, the Seleucids. No, not the Seleucids. What the heck? Alright, well, he's playing these guys, whoever they are. Oh, wait, I can just press this and it'll tell me. Akazids playing the Han, Spartan is playing the Persians. Okay, so I was right. Oh, this is a bug. This little symbol doesn't update. Alright. Oh, no, because I didn't switch to Spartan. See, I don't know what I'm doing. There it is. There, the Persian symbol. Alright, so Spartan, solid player. Playing the Persians. The Gauls, many people's favorite civilization, very popular. I play them myself. This is being played by... Guering. Alright, I don't know him. Maybe he's super strong also, and that's why they regard it as balanced. So, so those are the teams. Let's go back to Team East, the one that I think is stronger. And let's go to Rauls. I'm sorry, I meant West. Team West, which I think is stronger. Rauls playing the Chinese. I've heard people say that the Han are really good at cavalry rushes. Let's see what the initial chart says. For economic score, we have the lead. Oh, we have one leader from each team. That's a good sign for a balanced game. We have Rauls and Guerin as the two leaders, one from each team. And we also see that there's some action between probably black and green as well. Since black has this edge position, I can only assume that Guerin... Oh no, he also has their neighbors, so they were raiding each other as well. Let's see who's leading in population. Akazid with 78. And Rauls, who's been rushing 65. Alright, so I think Akazid, this red player, is super strong. And that's why they consider it a tie. There's an attack all the way from across the map with Rauls taking his blue cavalry here. Rushes in. Akazids women get out of the way in time, it seems, and it seems that the cavalry didn't want to go in that deep, but now they come right up against the wood line. There's going to be some losses here. Yellow's cavalry, Spartan, very perceptive. He came to help. This can't be good for the blue cavalry, for Rauls' cavalry, but I guess he went the other way. I thought he was going to get caught in the tree line. He went the other way, and he found some of Spartan's support workers. One kill there. Oh, but he loses a pony. He's gonna lose another one. Look at him. He has almost no health left. I think if he gets out, which it looks like he is, he'll be lucky to get out. But look at this. This is what the elite players do. See how they're retreating? They put the healthy ponies in back, so that if they take any damage, they won't kill them. There's a small chance that the game does that automatically, and I'm giving them credit for nothing. Or maybe that's a really subtle maneuver they do. I'm not sure. Approaching the 7-minute mark, I expect players to start cresting 100, and just as I say that, Akazid, who now I think is an elite player, does cross 100 population. Let's see who'll be next. Saeed. Seems like he's next. Saeed playing the teal color on this edge position with the Moria. Very interesting civilization. Archers and elephants with the Moria. They also have swordsmen, which are good counter siege. Wow, 4 barracks. Is that what you're supposed to do? I usually just have a couple barracks when I cross 100 population. Let's see what geriatrics, who did that super early rush with the Romans. Let's see how many barracks he has. 2 barracks, just 2. So this is more similar to my setup. And I don't think there's a right answer. I think it's just a question of strategy and personal preference. Akazid, who's looking super strong. Let's see how he's doing it. 3 barracks. Oh, and he wisely puts the barracks here so that his boundary line expands out. And so he can reach these berries. Oh, that's probably what helped him get that early population. 130 now. Second place is Spartan with 120, his neighbor. But access to all of these berries probably helped them get a nice boost in food and grow the population quickly. So I think that he and Rauls are the 2 top players in these games, and interestingly, they're both playing the Han. One thing about the Han is instead of wheat fields, you get these rice paddies that can only support 3 workers, as opposed to wheat fields which support 5. So you need to build many more if you're feeding your population with farming. Alright, who has the most cavalry? Nobody has a lot of cavalry. Rauls has 4, which is the leader. And where are they? Oh, they're here healing after that raid that we watched across the map. Sometimes those raids that go horizontally across the map, sometimes they really surprise your opponent. Because Spartan here, since he's not in edge position, might feel safe, and as we saw, he lost at least 1 worker in that little raid. Spartan transitions to phase 2. We are approaching the 10-minute mark. Let's look at the charts. So, military leader is geriatrics. Looks like he followed up with his early raid with another. And the economy leaders are now Charger and Guerin. So far, there's nothing that doesn't suggest this is an even match. Maybe I just didn't know these players too well. Oh, and here we can see Geriatrics has more than those kills. He's attacking more. I love it. I love these attacks at non-standard times. Usually, if attacks don't come in the first 5 minutes with rushes, then they wait until at least minute 14 when people are close to fully upgraded. I love these attacks at the 10-minute mark. These non-standard things which sometimes catch your opponent off guard. Let's try to do a general count. So he's in here with just the 40 attacking infantry. And let's take a peek. And he's doing it against Saeed, which is not an easy task. Let's see how many Saeed has. Ooh, Saeed only has 20 archers here. Only 20 archers. I think he has other infantry on the other side of his base. So really either fortuitous or well planned. Or they're all dead. Yes, there was a big battle. Geriatrics has 46 kills to Saeed's 24. So it's paying off. I love the aggressive play from Geriatrics. What a funny name. And archers tend to be a little bit weaker. Like, they're good if they become veterans, which they often do because they can work from far away and not get killed. Or they're strong when they have other units to act as the anvil. They're like the hammer. But right now, archers alone facing off against the Roman infantry, they are not doing well. They are not doing well. Saeed can be in trouble. Let's see if Rauls comes to help. I don't see any sign of that so far. Saeed doing some trades. He needs wood. He trades food for wood and stone for wood. And Rauls perceptive enough to send Saeed some wood. And I think Geriatrics is now pulling back. He said he did his damage, 76 kills versus 50 kills, and now he's pulling back. Probably totally disrupted his own economy as well as Saeed's. Let's see if that's reflected in the chart. But Saeed hasn't had it enough. He's following Geriatrics into his base. Now he pulls back, and that's the sort of cat and mouse play that we see among top players and don't see among intermediate players, because they know like when they have an advantage or their opponent has an advantage, and they'll advance or withdraw as the situation changes. Whereas I think intermediate players, they're either all in or all out. They don't do this little back and forth dance. Saeed bartering for more wood. Let's look at Saeed's resources. Oh, he has only 50 wood and only 6 people harvesting wood. So this attack really took his infantry off the resources. I think Geriatrics is doing much better. No, Geriatrics is also out of wood. I guess that this cost both players their lumberjacks who had to go join the military. Let's take a quick peek. Oh, and you can see both teal and orange, Saeed and Geriatrics. Their economy flatlined, and you can also see in the military chart, orange has the better of it. Still going at it. Let's see if is there any reinforcements arriving from a neighbor. Probably not, and that's because Geriatrics did this at a very non-standard time. I love these non-standard attacks. It's one of the reasons I love watching Sniper play. He's one of the more creative players, and his moves are always so surprising and original. So these two guys are the two edge players. It's Geriatrics with the orange, Saeed with the teal. And their neighbors, I think, are the two strongest players in the game. Akazids with the red, playing the Han Chinese on this side. And next to Saeed, we have Rauls with the blue, also playing the Han Chinese. And so far, they've been happy to let their neighbors duke it out amongst themselves as they continue to develop their economies. But you have to think that they'll be doing something else soon, because Rauls, his population is maxed out. Akazids' population is all but maxed out. Very interesting development, and so far everything suggests it's an even game. Now Saeed is invading. Says 2 can play at this game. You're not going to disturb my base without me answering back. And look at this, Geriatrics put up a couple small towers. He's turning defensive. I don't think he's had the worst of it. Although Saeed has evened out the kill count. It's 89 for Geriatrics, 81 for Saeed. So Geriatrics decidedly switching to a defensive posture. I didn't think he was worse. Interesting development here. And Saeed sending more. Chargers, Saeed's other teammates sending him metal, so his allies are doing a good job reinforcing him. I didn't see those messages saying that Geriatrics was getting resources from his teammates in Team East. So Team West, who I called... Oh, now we have it. Just as I said that, Spartan said Geriatrics some wood. But based on these little messages that I see here, Team East, who I thought were the favorites, did a little better job reinforcing their teammate than Team West. And look, Saeed trying to capture a tower, and he does. Will he destroy it or will he occupy it? He occupies it. I love it, and I love doing that. If you ever capture a tower in your opponent's territory, you put your own troops in it, and then it becomes a huge pain in the butt for them, and sometimes they lose. If they're low on infantry to begin with, sometimes they can't capture it back, and suddenly part of their base becomes useless. I love it from Saeed. Big counterattack and a successful one. I'm not sure how he pulled it off. It seemed like an even fight to me. And he's proving me right. He's proving me right that Team West was the stronger team, though there's still a lot to play. Who knows how it'll end. And what's going on here? Any action on the other border? The black player is Triumphathal playing the Gaul. versus Gier playing the green player, also playing the Gauls. So far, less action here. Both of them are approaching their population limit. And now it looks like Akazid has come to reinforce geriatrics. He came heavy with the cavalry. He's the only substantial cavalry force on the map with 62. And Saeed, who's had such a difficult and successful infantry attack, will he be able to handle these 60 cavalry that Akazid has sent? Not an enviable task. 54 cavalry. I think the others are still catching up. I think Rauls must be stepping in now. He has maxed out his population. Let's see what Rauls is doing. He's still booming economically. I don't see him making a move just yet. Ooh, and look at this move by Akazid. Very perceptive. He saw Saeed's little infantry force stranded, and he just cut off their escape. So now we have geriatrics hitting them from this side, and Akazid's cavalry hitting from the other. Saeed is trying to reinforce with these archers, but it's not going to be enough, and I expect Saeed's whole force here to perish. Look at their health, well below 50%. A very perceptive play by Akazid. He put that cavalry in the perfect place at the perfect time. And look all the way up here. Saeed is trying to hide these archers, maybe try to salvage just a few. Beautiful play. And and Saeed dips below 100 population. Only player below 100 population. 94 right now. Beautiful, beautiful play. Beautiful timing by Akazid. And here comes Rauls with a huge infantry force. So you have the red player of the Han using cavalry. 54 cavalry left. And you have Rauls, the blue Han player, playing infantry. And he should be able to chase these ponies away and give Saeed some room to recover after Saeed's wonderful attack. You can see that the tower that Saeed captured is no longer there. Geriatrics is at 140 population, still trying to reach the maximum after that early action. Wow, lots of cavalry lost by Akazid. What a back and forth. And it looks like those three archers who... those three archers, or two archers and a spearman that Saeed hit on the edge of the map, will make it to safety. So good for them. It's nice to see a leader who cares about his soldiers. Charged put men in your CC. Not clear who he's talking to. Saeed desperate for wood, trading more. Great play, great play. Saeed down just oh no, I was looking at the wrong column. He's at 104. Still by far the lowest player, diminished by Akazid's brilliant play. But Rauls came here in force. He will give Saeed room to recover, and then some. He is making his own push. And let's take a look at this Gauls versus Gauls battle. It is heating up on the other side of the map in the south. We have Spartan, the yellow player, joining Gier. And is it a 2v1? Is it a 2v1 attack against the black player? Let's take a quick look. The Ptolemies, Spartan. Oh no, the Persians. Yeah. That's right. The yellow player is the Persians, so we have a joint Persian-Gaul invasion of the black player Triumphatal's Gauls, and he might be in trouble. I don't know him, but I suspect he's the weakest player here on Team West. And very appropriately, we have Chargester, who's a 2,000-plus player. He is joining the TC to reinforce it. But it looks like he's taking kind of a deep defense back here by the TC. And they're going to let this part of the base fall. So progress being made by Team West in the south. Both edges of the board are heating up. Let's just jump back and see how Rauls is doing here. Look at Rauls' mighty infantry. I never know when if I should use formations, if they're a good idea. And here are Rawls' formation. Still has 140 infantry in the field. Huge army. Uh, Again, it's always a balancing act between economy and army, and it looks like Rawls went heavy, and it's paying off because not only does he have 140 infantry here, he has 3 catapults, and they're gonna start destroying parts of Geriatrix's base while Saeed recovers. Saeed is up to 133, and my game is getting choppy because I need a better computer. My son thinks that's very funny.
Your computer is trash.
What? Don't make me start playing on your computer. You see here Akazids cavalry trying to hold back Rauls. I don't think there are enough of them. There are 56 cavalry. And Geriatrix appropriately has a base full of 17 infantry. I don't think that's enough. Oh, these aren't catapults. The hand have trebuchets. Same long distance siege. Ooh, and they must be upgraded. They've done some good damage. I think 5-6 strokes, and that TC is going down. It's going to be a desperate counterattack from Akazid. And look at that. Rawls doing a beautiful job putting his infantry right on top of those catapults, telling those ponies is, you want to destroy this siege, you have to come through me. The TC is halfway destroyed. How many cavalry does Akazid have left? I hate how my screen jumps around like this. Not only is Rauls destroying the TC, he's destroying Akazid's cavalry. You can see the red cavalry here, and they've turned and said, we've had enough, down to 43 horses. Let me see how much of Rawls' infantry is left. He had 140 soldiers when we last counted. Man, I'm getting like 1 frame every 3 seconds. I hope my recording is okay.
Your recording is that okay?
130. He didn't lose any. How is that possible? Were there more reinforcing? How is that possible? It looks like this one can be decisive with Team West. I think the Team West making progress here. How's it going in the South? And in the South, Team East has the better of it, though I don't know if they'll reach TC. Chargster, with his purple forces here, has done a great job reinforcing. And the black player, Triumphathal, he is that a TC, or is that he's building a fortress here behind his TC? Very interesting developments. Team East has the better of it here in the South, and Team West has the better of it here up north. In fact, I suspect that Geriatrix's TC is about to fall. You can see the 3 trebuchets here. 1 or 2 more shots, and that should be the end of it. Down to 800 out of 3,000 health on that TC. And again, not only is he destroying the TC, but this huge, massive infantry is winning the fight. It's winning the fight. So you have Akazid's cavalry suffering. Geriatrix population, it's still at 140. Where are they, though? Where are they? And Saeed has recovered nicely. He's at 160 now. In the South, the black player, Triumphathal, the one who's under pressure, he's down to 100. Let's take a quick look. Let's look at the chart, and let's look for Rawls' sudden rise. Look at that. This sharp blue line is the arrival of Rawls after a lot of back and forth between Saeed and Geriatrix, teal and orange. One more shot, and that TC is going down. Or wait, maybe he's going to capture it. Yes, Rauls is capturing it. Capturing it is great because then Geriatrics not only has to rebuild a TC, but he has to rebuild everything because everything becomes yours if you control it long enough. One move that some players do is if they see themselves at risk of losing their TC, they will destroy it. They will destroy it. Geriatrics has not done that. And I apologize for the display. I'm getting like one frame every few seconds. I don't... Oh, no upgrades. That is interesting. I thought there were... I was sure Rauls did some upgrades because those trebuchets seem to destroy the TC pretty quickly. But no. Oh, perhaps he did this upgrade at the fortress, although I'm not sure if the Han Chinese get it. In any case, huge development here and a huge win for Team West, who I thought was the strongest team, although Team West is getting the worst of it down here. And this is how the 4 and 4s often shape up. It's a 2 versus 2 on top and a 2 versus 2 on bottom. And here you can see yellow and green, Spartan and Gier closing in. They're getting awfully close to this TC, but they still have a lot of Chargster's troops. Chargster somehow is fighting this fight and keeping his population maxed out. The Iberians keeping them close to 200. So great job by Chargster, and I bet he's doing that by having a very big army.
Yeah, see?
95, so not much left. And the black player, Triumphatal, he's down to 80 population. That's the lowest in the game. Lower even than Geriatrics, whose TC was just destroyed. So I think he did come here with a big army, but he's facing 2 big armies. And the person he's come to relief is almost out of the game. Very interesting. So we have one team pressing in the north, the other team pressing in the south. Great job by Gier and Spartan. Good coordinated attack.
That you know what would make that video funnier? If you said West, not West, but East. And also, can you make a video about us two playing Red Wars? And how I absolutely crushed you?
How much longer is Chargster going to keep this army here? His population went down from like 95 to 75 in the last couple seconds. Is he going to sacrifice them here to take as big a toll on as possible against the invaders? One thing going for Team West, who's getting the worst of it here, is that their opponents don't seem to have any long-range siege, so they have to wait till these rams, which you can see here, roll all the way up to the TC, which they're just doing now. But until now, you had a full TC shooting arrows at the invaders. Though I think this is the end of it. This fortress has come into play nicely. The fortress, as long as it has people inside of it, will retain control of some of the territory. And let's see what Akazid does, this strong player with the Han here. His neighbor just fell. You can see Geriatrics has a bunch of players here. Like, I never know, I'm never certain what the right thing to do is when your neighbor gets overrun like this. Does he pull back and go defensive? Does he try to find a weakness and fight? Geriatrics is setting up another TC here, which is good if it works. But will it work? Will it hold back the invaders long enough? Because he's kind of setting that up right in the path of Rauls and Saeed, who should be... Saeed is finally maxing out his population and should be joining in this push. So, oh, Rawls can't see it yet. It's still in the shadows. I think if he could see it, he would say, you're not setting up your new base here. I've defeated you, and you're gonna stay defeated at least for a while longer. But Akazid very wisely, Akazid just always making good decisions. He's keeping Rawls engaged here, possibly giving Chargester time to finish building this TC, which is about halfway up. Just plain old good decisions by Akazid, being at the right place at the right time. He wasn't strong enough to hold back Rawls' infantry, but he made a couple of really good moves. Oh. And there's a Han General Liu Bang. I'm not familiar with these generals. What's his force? What's his special power? Cavalry plus 20% attack damage. All right, this is part of the reason why the Han are known for their strong cavalry. And he's a swordsman too, so great anti-siege. Let's see if Rawls created a general. He has not. He has not. And who has kept their population full? Akazid, Red has kept his population full. Rawls has. Saeed finally got his population full. And Spartan down in the south, the yellow player, is keeping his population full. And Gier very close to full. So as good as Team West is doing in the north, and Team West is the team that I thought was the clear favorite, I think they have serious problems in the south. Serious problems because the two invaders here, yellow and green, still have max populations. So they have now taken out not just Triumphathal's TC, but his fortress too. And I think they're going to keep pushing. They're going to keep pushing against Lonely Chargester, who does have his population close to max. The Iberians, let's see if he's taken any steps to defend. Oh, and he has. Look at this. Chargester has been in a defensive role, and he's been attacking. He has a fortress here, and he has a fortress inside the wall next to his TC. I've seen other people, when they play the Iberians, they put this fortress right up against the wall facing the enemy, so it can shoot arrows there. Charger decided to put it a little bit further back. And we can see the remnants of Triumphathal's army. 40 women and about 20 infantry. Not much at all. I would expect him to go back here and put the TC here and slowly start rebuilding and hope his allies can get him back into the game. It looks like he's moving more towards the center, so he might try to put down his TC over here. And let's see how Geriatrix is doing with that new TC. Oh, and he got it up. So Akazid's strategy worked out. Akazid held Rawls at bay long enough for Geriatrix to get his TC up. And as expected, here came Saeed. Saeed was in a huge fight in the beginning and made a really convincing counterattack. But then he got stomped pretty hard, and has been rebuilding his forces. Until just now he made his appearance. Akazid's still strong, and this massive cavalry pushing Spartan back. I love it. This is the only huge cavalry formation in the game, and it comes with a general that reinforces their strength. So let's see, how is Akazid? How has he set up his guys? He's got 40 lumber, 70 on food. He must have 1 million of those rice paddies. Lumber, food, and just 70 and 90 cavalry. He has 90 cavalry and just 50 infantry. And 28 rice paddies. Wow. 28 rice paddies feeding this huge cavalry force.
Dad, Mr. Krabs would be proud.
Mr. Krabs would be proud for all you SpongeBob fans. I think that's a SpongeBob reference. Wow, and what again? I'm so impressed with Akazid. He's not being aggressive as you may be tempted to do if you have almost 100 cavalry. He's getting Charger or Geriatrics rather, getting Geriatrics, the orange player, a chance to rebuild. And I think only now that Geriatrics seems to have a good economy under him is he pressing. Although someone says he also says GG. Does he think he lost or does he think he won? I have no idea. Maybe he thinks we only have to hold here because my team East is winning in the South. But can they hold? Saeed seems to be making a push, sending a lot of infantry against those Akazids cavalry, and the cavalry are depleted. That's one thing he didn't do when they were sort of guarding their position. He could have sent the injured ones back. I'll press O here. Look, there are 14, now 13 of those 100 cavalry are just barely hanging on. He could have sent them back and garrisoned them. And it seems like this is a determined push by both Blue and Teal, both Rauls and Saeed. They want to hit. They want to hit these guys before Geriatrics rebuilds. Geriatrics population is only back over a little bit over 100, and I don't think Akazi's cavalry can hold this combined push. So great move here, great coordination. Although Saeed's fort, let's see how many Rauls is attacking with. 93, that includes 3 trebuchets. Maybe they want to smash Geriatrics for good. And what's Saeed's doing? Saeed only has 42 and they are depleted. Where are Saeed's forces? Maybe he needs to get a little more economy under him. Oh, and you can see a Triumphathal who's been smashed. He's all the way over here rebuilding, so he'll still be out of the game for a while. So this is like a 4 versus 3 against the team that I thought was better. Or maybe you should say a 3.5 versus 3 since Geriatrics is so depleted. Saeed's still investing his forces in economy and only sending a small contingent here to join Rauls. But Rauls so strong, attacking from 2 sides. So it's not just 93. Rauls has a huge army here. 140. I love this among the elite players. They just always have the bigger army. You want to win? It's simple. Just have the bigger army. The simple things are always hard. Oh, I love it. Great move by Rauls. Great move by Rauls. Does not let Geriatrics get on his feet, turning this into a 3-on-3 so it doesn't become a 4 versus 3. And Akazi's red cavalry cannot hold. Down to 70 from almost 100 cavalry, down to 70. Akazi now positioning them behind the TC. Forcing Rauls' invaders to take arrows from the TC. We're 22 minutes into the game. Gosh, on intermediate games, the fighting doesn't start until 22 minutes. Here, I feel like they've been fighting forever. In intermediate games, everyone gets all the upgrades. Everyone exhausts everything before they decide to figure out who's better. These elite players, they're at it from the beginning. We saw Geriatrics' cavalry raid within 2 minutes. Beautiful push by Rauls, reinforced by Saeed. It looks like Saeed put a bigger force here now. Yeah, close to 50 infantry. They are depleted. Saeed does have that Mauryan general, Charya, who's like a super priest and heals your infantry as they go. Oh, and look, they did not stop to destroy Geriatrics' base completely, although it looks like it's going to go. But the infantry has moved on, and the infantry is now fighting Akazid. Let's see what Akazid is doing. Cavalry is not known for defense. They're known for hitting and running. So let's take a look at Akazid's forces. He only had those 50 infantry. So Akazid has 7 stables. They're all churning out soldiers. And let's see if I can find the barracks. Is it just one barracks? No, three barracks. Three barracks. Two of them about to get captured. And but Akazid is not churning out the infantry. I think he would be if he was going defensive. Maybe he's hoping for help from the yellow player Spartan, who's been busy engaged here in the south. And what happened in the south? Golly, in the south they continue their march. So yellow and green. What fun it must be to be playing them right now. They've smashed through Triumphethal, who was nobly defended by Chargester, the purple player with the Iberians, but now they've banged down the door of the Iberian base and they're going after this combo. Fortress and TC, both of them full, but Gier has at least one ram here. So great push by Team East, trying to prove me wrong that they were the weaker team. Great job by Spartan and Gier. Very well coordinated. It seems like they were just in sync the whole time, creating first a 2-on-1 against Triumphethal, and now a 2-on-1 against the mighty Chargester. Chargester down to not down, still at 180. Still at 180. Great play. But I can't imagine that it would stand up to Chargester and Gier, who are both still close to their max population while waging this devastating attack. They're just swarming all over. I think Chargester took out that ram. Let's switch to Gier and see if we can find any rams. Wow, the Rams are gone. Great play by Chargester. He really punished them inside the base. He said, "This is still my house." He made them face close to a full fortress and a full TC. And Gier pulling back. Gier went down to 150-something population in that push. He tried to get that ram through, but see, it paid off. It paid off having the fortress and the TC in here. Great defensive play by Chargester. Now, one thing that I've started doing as I try to transition from sort of an intermediate player to an advanced one is evacuate my wounded. Part of that is discovering how good veterans are in this game. And if you press O, Gier here has 14 units that are almost completely depleted. Oh, I think he's deciding to destroy this base, or this fortress. I'm not sure it's doing much, but I guess he figured why not if Chargester is turtling up in here. So again, Team East successful in the south, but Team West successful in the north. I love these imbalanced games. Let's see how Akazid is doing. Akazid is still holding out. Very good. Geriatrics now homeless, and he is now the lowest ranked player in the game in terms of population at 43, while Triumphethal rebuilds slowly in the corner. I said if you have to rebuild your TC, I feel better about doing it here in the corner and being purely defensive. It's a trade-off to do what Geriatrics did and put it out here in the middle. You do have some offense, but you're also very exposed. And the 2-on-1, the two being Rauls and Saeed, they were just too much for Geriatrics' second base. So once again, Geriatrics is wandering the map, thinking, where do I go to rebuild? So it does look good, I would say, for if Triumphethal can rebuild and get back into the game, it will look good for Team West, despite the problems they're having in the south. Let's see what Rauls is doing. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't come here to reinforce Chargester. Chargester has done an amazing job resisting two sort of full capacity armies. And Saeed came all the way here to reinforce. I love this move. Saeed took a pause. They said, we don't need to go after Akazid. We destroyed Geriatrics. Now I'm gonna go here and look out for my teammate Chargester. Saeed is the Morias with the teal here, and they did not let Gier attack this fortress, which I guess I didn't understand why Gier was attacking it, and it looks like he lost a bunch of troops. He's down under 100. He's at 97. This might be decisive. Team East has two players under 100, Gier just under, and Geriatrics, who's going to be out of this game for a long time, and I think they called it. I think that was it. Let's take a look at the charts before we adjourn. What is it? Control Enter, Control Tab. I always forget. Control Tab. Here we are. Brilliant play by. See, you could tell by the blue player. This is a guy who's either doing economy or war. So he'll always have the biggest army, which is why you see no blue, no blue, no blue. 16, 17 minutes he steps in and the blue line jumps to the top. Again, economy, economy, economy. He decides to fight with the biggest army. He jumps to the top. That's not always the winning strategy, but it is a strategy. In contrast, you can see how Geriatrics and Saeed, the orange and teal, were just going at it constantly, non-stop from the very beginning. And here you can see the two populations. Geriatrics' population just trailed off like that, and it was too much. Great play. Like and subscribe.